Anytime now.
It's time for the College Hockey Show! And now here's your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, and the degenerate Bostonian, Mike Warino.
What up, TikTok? What up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? What up, X? What up? Oh, I got to start the Instagram. My bad. Instagram, you're not live. Instagram, welcome, Instagram. You are live. All right. What up? Vatos Locos Forever, Mike. What's up?
It's been too long. I'm sorry,
reference?
guys.
Do you know that reference? Do you know that reference? Vatos Locos? Vatos Locos Forever, man. Do you know that reference?
Is that from what's the bad guy superhero movie?
Oh no, it's not a superhero movie. It's a 90s gangster movie.
Nope.
Yes, Avi. A huge slate of hockey is here for sure. No, it's a movie called Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh crap, I have seen that one.
Blood In, Blood Out, Vatos Locos Forever, man. Very, very much love that movie. Good movie. Anyway, okay, so the NPI got turned on its ear. We have to talk about BU because they just won't die. They're like a zombie. And I said before the show, I'd put money on them plus 1,000 to make it. They're going to win the Hockey East tournament and make the tournament, man. They just are. They're going to. And yeah, I think BC lost tonight, did they not?
They did.
Yeah, I mean, they're gettable, man. They're gettable. So, yeah, man, Boston College might drop out of the tournament, bro. They could. Oh, BU. Yeah, Avi agrees. BU definitely can. And Avi, thanks for modding and always being here. We appreciate you. Okay. So, BU sweeps BC in BC makes no sense to me. BC actually got, exercised the demons, won the Bean Pot. I thought this was their year. And this is one of the least talented teams they've had in the last, and they just could not win Hockey East. They could not win the Bean Pot when they had all these other good players, when they had Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault, by the way, has looked real good for the New York Rangers here. That break did him some good. What's up, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights? They have the talent to go on a run, like he thinks Providence or Maine takes it though. Maine, Maine could. You think Maine wins Hockey East? I could see
Maine
Providence
has the exact same roster as last season, and they should be way better than they are. I agree with him. Maine's got a good shot.
It would be awesome if Maine won too, because their fans would show out to Vegas. I think,
yes, they would.
Because their winners are probably as long as our winners. What? Go ahead.
I remember them in Minnesota when we first met. They had about 5,000 people because they thought they were going to make it that year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but it's still fun. Yeah, Yeah, but I just want the BU fans show, right? They do well. BC fans show. Minnesota fans would show. We just really need a big time school to make it. Penn State will show too. I just don't think they're going to be there, man.
I don't either.
So yeah, Notre Dame beat Ohio State. That's the other thing, man. Like, that just went. Did that just go final? Notre Dame 5-4 overtime. That's right. We were talking about that too. They won against Ohio State, and they're not even. Are they even up in the top 50? Notre Dame. Where are they?
They might be top 50. Avi, tonight's Penn State game was a prime reason of why I've been crapping all over them.
Yeah, they got destroyed by Wisconsin 7-3. Yeah, I saw you on Twitter losing your mind, Avi. You must have had some money on them. Anyway,
3-10 this year against the top.
Notre Dame is 52nd. They are out of the top 50. That's a bad loss. Ohio State, though, I think they might actually be low. Are they lower? Where are they?
No, they might be.
They're 24th. So yeah, that's bad for them. Anyway, no one expected Ohio State to win that conference. They don't have a chance. it's gonna be Michigan, Michigan State, Western Michigan, the national champions, or in my humble opinion, those are the teams, right? Those three teams. If it's not one of those three teams, I'll be shocked.
I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I don't know that you could think that anybody else is going to beat those three teams. Yeah, no, Avi, I'm not saying they kick their ass. It's just it's bad if you lose to a team that's ranked 52nd. Notre Dame's not good. So, I mean
Mercyhurst was number 63, and they beat Canisius. I wanted to scream into a bag.
Yeah. I did message Mike McMahon when he was doing a live show. Not about coming on. I should message him about that. We should try to have him on before we go. I'll reach out to him. He thinks they'll go to like a 20-team conference because we already got news of some a new Division I team coming in. Marysville, did you see this?
Yeah, Maryville? I saw the rumors of. Is it?
No, they're coming. They're going to have a Division I hockey program.
All right, I didn't see the official announcement. That's exciting.
I guess they spent some down below. 204. All these schools have money to burn. I guess maybe it was good. Like the government came down on them to put some money into their institutions instead of leeching off the government. I don't know, but I can't understand the internal politics. If the ACC goes D1, Avi, it's a game changer, and we do have to go to a 32 team. Yeah, SEC would be good too. I will tell you this though, Avi, if the ACC gets in, the SEC schools can play in the ACC. If it's hockey, it doesn't matter. They can be in any conference they want. There's tons of teams that play in other conferences in different sports. You just like UAA is Division I college hockey team. No other sport in Alaska is Division I. It's Division III. Our girls, if our school is Division I, it'd be 3 times the size it was. So yeah, so they could play. So they could play in the ACC. You already got built-in rivals. So figure Florida. If Alabama, we don't need all of you because Miami is a big one for me. Because I told you I met a kid from there that was on that Western Michigan team. He was just a healthy scratch. They have hockey there. They've had it there for a long time. The Florida Panthers have been there how long now? 40 years? Something like that?
Years. I mean, so I'd like to see if the ACC comes in, that'd be great. Like that
the ACC is. I would rather have the ACC than the SEC because I know Alabama has a club team. They could go to the ACC as a hockey team, and then I think that would be awesome, man. We need it.
Auburn's good.
The only thing, guys, is what's that rule? Title IX. They got to have a woman equivalent. Yep. They got to have a woman equivalent. So they can't have more men's sports than women's sports. So either they have a women's hockey, which works, or some other women's sport that's real big. Like a swim team or something if they didn't have one, which I'm assuming most of them do. So yeah. Avi, I totally get the men, but they got to have that other thing. So that's the big thing. They know when they're committing a new sport, they're going to be I don't know.
Yeah, the budget wise, everything, they got to fit it in there.
They got to have
those schools take it. Yeah, but those schools can get 30 women that play hockey or want to play hockey to go there.
No, man. No, we want the girls. The girls hockey is a big deal, man. And Team USA is awesome. It was so good they won the gold in dramatic fashion against Canada. It's only going to get more of those girls playing. Because, I think the politics in soccer and a lot of sports, because our women's soccer is really damn good too. The women's basketball, women's softball, I just think a lot of women are playing sports. It's good for them. If I had kids, they'd play sports. I'd make them fucking play sports.
I'll say this: sports teach you a lesson that schools can't teach you.
Well, teamwork and just getting over.
You're not always going to win in sports.
you don't have to be disingenuous, man. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm just saying, Title IX rule doesn't. You're not going to change it. They've had it forever now. So it's easy when you have like a men's swim team and a women's swim team. You have a men's basketball and a women's basketball, and women basketball comparatively to hockey is a relatively cheap sport. The overhead is not what hockey is. So if some teams are jumping in, what's up, Darkness? Then, hey, Mike, make sure you keep on the TikTok chat for me. We didn't discuss that tonight. Sorry, and I got a lot. But okay,
the
So
men's sports is football. There's a lot of footballs, 100-something spots, and that's the problem when like Title IX comes in, because you're scooping up a lot with football.
So UMass winning tonight over BC, that they're 18th. Do you think that helps now? They beat UConn. They beat this. I mean, is UMass got an outside shot?
20 spots since our balls come back. That kid better get some Richter notice. He missed half a season, so I don't think he'll get it. But my God, he brought them up 20 spots.
Yeah,
I was mad. Like I wanted to pull the trigger on them so bad tonight, but I've been icy cold, so I didn't. Oh, I saw that one coming too.
Avi says they're up. He's sad Long Island lost to Lindenwood, and he says they're upgrading the rink in Long Island.
Yes. Nice. That new rink's going to look beautiful.
Hey, and again, this is where you lose me. Like, hey, I'm glad we beat Canada, but I'm not ready to shit on the players of the country. That Schaefer kid is going to grow that sport so much there in Long Island or out there on Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so fun to watch. He's can't miss television, dude. Like Jack Hughes or like Quinn Hughes is right now. I watched anyway, again, Quinn Hughes, Michigan. We're talking about college hockey. So we kind of didn't address the college. If hockey wanted to grow, the NCAA would work the SEC of hockey ground. Boom, hockey in the South. Yeah, so Darkness, we were just talking about it. Avi mentioned the ACC is thinking about getting into Division I. So that gets you Florida, Florida State, Miami, and hockey's already huge in Florida. So college, it's not going to be hard. And I told, you may have missed it, but I met a kid last year who was a healthy scratch. He was hanging out in the VIP lounge during the national championship game. It was from Miami, a Western Michigan kid. So he didn't care. He won a national championship as a scratch, big deal. You're on a team that won it all. So I think I bet he would have loved to have played in his own backyard, I mean, Miami's like an awesome campus, everything I've been told. So I personally didn't care for Miami that much. I like Fort Lauderdale a little bit better, but you ain't far from all that. So, you just walk the beach. South Beach, all that. That's a lot of fun stuff to do. What a great place to go to college, and when it's unbearably hot, you're home. So no big deal. There's a reason these warm weather states do well with admissions, right? Mike, he said you wouldn't know you went to New England school, right? So
I did, but I get why. I laughed at the kids who came up like, oh yeah, I'm from South Florida. Why? What are you doing?
I mean, not everybody gets into everything.
That's fair. Hold on a second. I just looked at it like you should have tried harder. But no, it's been great. Darkness, I will say, like Alabama and Auburn is a great rivalry. They're both in the SEC, obviously, and they have AHAA teams, which is like an advanced club level, we'll say. So I'd like to see them get in. Alabama Huntsville no longer has a Division I program, but they used to actually sometimes make the NCAA tournament every once in a while. They've even made the second round. They beat an undefeated St. Cloud team one year. So they have the recruiting ability down south. So I'd like to see them get in. Avi, yes. So we're going to be talking that briefly. Big Ten Hockey East. They're finishing up their last week regular season games this week. NCHC, they're starting the best 2 out of 3 tournaments, their conference tournament this week. Boy, it's been a long day for me. I'm sorry, guys. So it's exciting. I'm with you. I prefer the 2 out of 3, though some conferences It just doesn't work because there's not enough time. Plain and simple.
I'll put the NPI up. I had it up on my iPad, but I can't. Ooh, hold on. Almost left the studio. That was dumb. Share screen. Obviously, TikTok, you won't see it. Sorry.
You can't see it. How you doing?
But we'll go through it for the TikTok folks so you know. Okay. So we're just going to look at the top 15, 16 here. I guess St. Thomas is 17th. We'll just remember that. So obviously Michigan State number 1. I'm surprised they didn't slide, but it looks like them and basically have the same record. I think it's a coin flip if it's Michigan or Michigan State at the end of the year, right? Could North Dakota slide in and take it from them? It looks like
they have the strength of schedule to do so.
Yeah. I think if they continue to win, it could be very close. Obviously, North Dakota, I think they have the best win percentage in the entire college hockey. I think 7.63. I don't think anybody has a better win percentage. Yeah. Because Michigan's at 7. Michigan State's at 751 and Michigan's at 720. So North Dakota 7.63, highest in the country. Dartmouth not too far behind. Or in Quinnipiac, 2 teams that I think we could see at the Frozen Four. That would be cool too, man, to see like 2 Ivy League schools essentially. I didn't know that Quinnipiac was considered an Ivy League school.
I don't either. That does surprise me. I mean, it's a good school. I'm not going to bash their education.
So is it an Ivy League school or is it?
I mean, I know it's the ECAC. I mean,
they play Harvard. I thought all those schools were like, but they keep
the Ivy because they get NIL money. So
okay. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, no, Avi, we're just saying we think that it can change. I understand they're fine right now, but that again, this one thing I like about the NPI and why I wish they would just do away with the conference championships is it just put 32 teams in. Especially if we get the ACC in, man, then we can really get the 32. But Mike says 20. But to me, how do you do 20? Somebody gets a bye? You don't want to buy. You don't want to buy.
Top 12 get a first round bye, and then the next 8 have that play-in, and then you go to the round of 16.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That would be fine too. I'd be okay with that. But I still, it's better than 16. Because it's the auto bid thing that Mike said is creating a lot of issue. So,
I think the auto bid's got to stay. I think everyone needs a crack at it.
No, but Mike, I'm not disagreeing with the auto bid. I'm saying keep the auto bid, but expand the fucking tournament.
Yes. Yeah.
If we did 20, Bowling Green, Maine, UMass, St. Thomas in, Minnesota State in, Boston College in, Augustana in.
Green.
You know.
If Bowling Green, I would love to see Bowling Green in.
Yeah, dude, I'm saying, Avi, I want 32. 24, I'd be okay with 2. You know, and you could play a preliminary. Yeah, I'd be okay with 24 just as fun. Any more than 16. There's damn near 80. There's 63 Division I, and we're about to get 1 or 2 more. And if the ACC, say we got 5 from the ACC, you're at 70. The NHL has a 32 fucking goddamn team league, and they let 16 teams in the tournament. 32. We should have, we have double that, almost triple. So, yeah, I'm with you, Avi. Any expansion of the tournament 2024 is a good thing. We need it sooner than later. And they need to let the higher seeds host a home ice thing. Then you can go to the regional, whatever. You can farm it out. And to me, it should have to be on another university's campus arena until the Frozen Four, period. Not a third-party venue. You know what I'm saying? It should be a college atmosphere. They play the college basketball tournament on college. Those are neutral too, which is stupid. They shouldn't be. They should be held at the home of the higher seed. That's how I would do it. You make the tournament. You should get the extra money from the gate and, whatever. This is my critique of college basketball, and then the Final Four can be at that neutral, like the Frozen Four. I'm good with the neutral location.
All the fans. I do love the sectionals, but
what?
Some of the sectionals. I love the sectionals as a fan, but they're hard to get to. Like they are, especially with like the 2:00 starts. Like you're asking some schools
just have the higher seeds host. That's what your reward is for being better during the season. Schedule tougher schedule. Don't play cupcakes. Stop beating up on my University of Alaska Anchorage so badly. Okay, let's get into the actual show. You wanted to talk about the conference tournaments. So let's
not forget the drama at UMass UConn.
Yeah,
the fake goal.
Well, again, I think this kid did this intentionally. If you guys don't know, UMass and UConn went to overtime.
Yes, this was in OT.
It was in OT. With like a minute and a half left, the lights went out because they did a goal because the guy thought they scored a goal. And I think UConn was on a break. Could have easily scored and won the game, and they end up losing to UMass, like basically once the lights get sorted out right after. So, yeah, craziness. Anyway, that could have like UConn's on the right now. They're 13th, so there's the top 13 get in, and then the 3 auto bids, right?
Yes.
So Michigan, Michigan State, North Dakota, Western Michigan, Providence, Quinnipiac, Denver, Penn State, Cornell, Minnesota, Duluth, Dartmouth, Wisconsin, and UConn are all probably in. Okay? But that could screw UConn. They won today, I believe. So it could have fucked them badly. And they have a good record. So like I think if they just keep winning, they'll be okay. We've got to see what happens. But that's like they're on the line, and UMass is like 18th. Yeah. So like they're not, and they actually have more wins than UConn. I believe they have 20 wins, and UConn is at 19, I believe, or 18. Yeah. So they have more wins. They also have more losses. But you say 11 through 14 is all up in the air, but we know 3 of them are auto bids, so that's not really up in the air. We know who some of those teams are. Mike, the Atlantic is all but clinched. Am I wrong?
I mean, they have to run through the tournament, but Bentley's going to run through this. I'm struggling to see how Bentley doesn't win their conference tournament. They're a minus 400.
And they are 32.
Yeah.
Ranked 32. So
but we're going to teleport them to 16.
The tournament.
Yeah. So, they're at 16, basically. They're going to be our 16th team in. So like a team like Minnesota State's out.
Yep.
But like the CCHA, Minnesota State, Augustana, St. Thomas, that's 14, 15, 17.
Yeah, so they're already in.
One of those has to.
They don't get the auto bid?
Well, they could win their own auto bid, which could save a team. Or
so in the CCHA in their tournament, like Ferris State could win it and make it.
It'd screw everybody. It'd screw a lot of people.
Would they be in the auto bid though if they won the tournament?
Yeah, you win your tournament, you get the auto bid. So like Ferris State could really screw everyone up.
See, I think you got to win your conference. These rules need to be rewritten. You have to win your conference because I think the conference tournament should allow some thought process, but I don't know, man.
No, I like the turn. You win your conference, you get in.
Yeah,
I do like that.
You win your conference, you get in. I agree with that. Well, you're going to be high in the NPI rankings if you're a CCHA team anyway. I mean, you usually are some decent teams in there. So I feel like, and like you said, we had some teams that are ranked. But okay, St. Thomas, Minnesota. Who do you think wins
My 2 picks there are St. Thomas and Augustana. I think we get a new kid in the block in there. I really like both of them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, but I mean, Bowling Green, I would love to. They'd never been. St. Thomas never been. Augustana never been. I want to see new kids in the block, and then that's
Bowling
just
Green would be cool,
up.
man. Yeah, that's a pretty prestigious university too, man, for a Midwest school. Anyway,
give me 30 seconds. I'm having some. My Wi-Fi is going to cut in about 2 seconds, and it's going to reboot. So give me 20 seconds. All right.
No, you're all right. You're all right, man. You're gonna don't forget to get back on your Mike. Don't forget to get back on your phone if you're on the TikTok, and so you can read that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Avi, the big thing is the conference tournaments, which I think we're getting into those this in the coming weeks here. So there's some talk about the independents getting an auto bid too, which there's 5 of them. So maybe they need to find homes. To me, I think both Alaska teams could play in the NCAC. They played most of those teams anyway on the reg, and it would just help their recruiting because they're going to play big time schools. So I mean, I think North Dakota national championship, Denver, most national championships of all time, Western Michigan reigning national championship, UMD tons of national championships, Colorado College national championship. I think Miami of Ohio has a national championship. That
Yes,
NCAA, yeah. I mean, they probably didn't want Alaska in there, but like, would be helpful.
What I would like to see is Air Force get out of the Atlantic and into the NCHC. Yeah, I would like to see that.
Well, they're in Colorado. That makes sense.
It makes sense, but instead they're going to schools like Bentley and RIT. And I'm like, what is going on here? But
yeah, I think both Alaska teams should be in the NCHC. They were in the ECA or the SEC of college hockey, whatever it was called back then, with Michigan, North Dakota,
the WCA.
The WCHA.
That thing was loaded. Lake Superior won a national title playing in that conference.
Yeah. Okay. So other than Hockey East, we think it's going to be Providence, but now BU emerges. They just won't drop.
I was at the BC BU game when BC was the home team, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, BC just got thumped on the road. They're going to defend home ice, and they came out terrible. I will say, Coach Brown. We talked about this early in the season. If BC doesn't, make a big run, he's fired. And it's 2-1. There are 12 minutes to go in the second period. I'm going to emphasize the second period. Hagens has been out there for 2 minutes and 34 seconds. BU ices the puck.
David minutes.
BU ices the puck, and they change 4 guys. It's 5-on-5. He's played over 2.5 minutes of 5-on-5, and they leave him out there. And people are like, oh, how didn't he bury that breakaway? And I look at the clock.
What about Letourneau? What are they doing?
Well, they put Letourneau out there. Like, they ran 4 forwards at one point. In the second period, it's a 2-1 game. Hagens had over a 4-minute
that might have been they might have just, people make mistakes too. Like, that could have been an accident. Like,
no, they lined up the face-off with 4 forwards on a 5-on-5. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you and I talked about Brown earlier in the year, thinking
unacceptable.
Bobby believes Maine or BU will go on a run. You can't wait for James Hagens from the Bruins. He needs another year at college, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a winger now. But
and honestly, if I'm a Bruins fan, I kind of want him to have another, because you guys are probably choice to have maybe a mediocre season next year, because you've had kind of an unexpected season this year. So, and you kind of want to, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they get a good player there. They have a good team, man. But they're just not deep. So
I will say this.
Well, I've always been Hagens is pro ready. Do you think he's pro ready before we move on to the
and this is the debate I actually had tonight with my friends, and I'm like, is he pro ready? I think so, but I'm going to fire back to BC's coach. He makes him look not pro ready. I think he's lazy in his defensive end. They had to move him to wing, and then I just brought up the example. He put him out there for 4.5 minutes and didn't let him change. So what do you want the kid to do?
Well, if he's skating that much shifts, he's definitely got the lungs for it. Yeah,
Yeah, but like
I
I
just
watched
tell
them.
you, man, I don't like rushing guys to especially college kids. They're getting paid. I don't like rushing them to the pros. I feel like if you don't have room for them to be on your top 6, don't bring them. Now, I'm not looking at the Bruins thing, so I don't know. But I
Um,
definitely
there's a debate. Hagen's really could probably fit in as a winger. So maybe we bring him up like a guy like.
I thought he was a winger.
He was a centerman that's been converted to wing, and Letourneau's been the number 1 center. So
Okay, yeah, Letourneau's really turned, and Letourneau is a Bruins kid too. I could see
yeah,
Letourneau before Hagens, to be honest with you, just because of his size, and they'll want to coach toughness into him. But I think you get them both next year, both of them.
I do too.
Yeah,
Simply being, Letourneau needs to.
I think they want to see one more year of Letourneau in college because his first year wasn't that big. But shit, he was basically invisible. I saw
Right.
Cole Hudson come over on the board, so I was like, oh, this kid's not going to be very good. Well, he figured out he's a giant and he's awesome and he's going to be great. And I love it for the Bruins. I think he's going to be a Tom Wilson type player for you guys.
I think that's,
like I legit do. I don't think he's going to have the nastiness that Wilson has, but he will have a physical element to his game because he's so big and strong.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not going to be.
He grows like he did. Sorry, if he grows like he did on this offseason, oh my God, sky's the limit. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
He's not going to be great till he's 22, 23 just because of his size. Like it took Chara that long to be because of his size.
Yeah, he's a monster. What is he? 6? How tall is he?
6'7".
Yeah,
hit the main button.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's like Protoss.
And growing. That's the thing. Like he's 18. He's now old enough to buy cigarettes.
Okay, I wanted to just go over this. Things to remember. All games count towards NPI rankings, including the tournament. Yes, a big benefit to make a deep conference run. Hockey East and Big Ten have weeks, so they have regular season games this week. Okay, Atlantic round 1, Tuesday. That's the conference, right? We know who's going to. Mercyhurst beats Kinesis. And was Kinesis up there in the rankings? I don't even know.
47. They were 47, and Mercyhurst was dead last at 63, but they came through for their 6th win of the year.
Okay, yeah. Kinesis was 7th, and Mercyhurst was 10th in their conference. Okay, and then Niagara beats Army. Big shock, Army not winning. Okay, and Niagara Army 8 and 9 so, in the conference.
That was so frustrating because Army came out flat and pumped 3 in the 3rd.
They've lost some kids too, right?
They lose some kids. I mean, also, let's be real. They have a different training. Like them in Air Force, they have to get up, do the military training, then they go do hockey stuff or sports stuff for any athlete at those schools. You know, you're not just playing a sport. You have to other requirements. So seeing a team fatigued and they're an academy team, I'm like, yeah, because as an athlete, they're overworked. As a service member, yeah, they're in the best shape of their lives. You know, so they lose guys. Mikulski going to Penn State was obviously the biggest one, but I was sad at how flat Army came out, and then glad they came back firing. But it was just like you gave it away the first period. You can't do that.
Yeah, so Avi thinks Bentley will win the conference, and he thinks Air Force could be sneaky in there.
I think Air so Force too.
17 and 13 and 4 on the year, and they have scored 102 goals, 3rd most in the conference, and they've allowed 101, which is, I don't know if that's sortable, but it's one of the higher numbers as far as defensive, but they are a +1 team on the year, so they have scored more than they've allowed. Yeah, so you guys like Bentley, but Air Force could be an upset there, but we all think Bentley's in there. They're going to be the auto bid. And are they in the top?
No, they're 20 something and they can't really climb any higher. So they're going to screw somebody.
So one of these teams will be in the tournament, but they're not any of the other ones. So, okay. All right. Go ahead.
I was going to say we talked about the CCHA. Let's say Augustana wins and it's Augustana versus St. Thomas in that final. the CCHA will send 2 teams to the top 16 because they'll have, St. Thomas will have achieved enough points. Augustana will get an auto bid, so they'll be a 15. St. Thomas will balloon up to 14. And now all of a sudden that cut gets a little hairy. And so,
like the teams in the top 13, they don't need their auto bid. But if they didn't win their conference tournament, they'll still be in the tournament. But then
you get a better seed. But you look at a team like BU who stinks. They suck, and they're getting hot because this is what Jay does. Yeah. And all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and win. You're like, well, hold on a second.
You're gonna win hockey. I'm saying this right now, and I'm not pandering to all my friends that I know that went to BU. They're winning it. They played so badly. It's happening. And so you can't argue
if they were to win.
You said the Savage has money on it already, doesn't he?
Yeah, plus 1,000.
Yeah, I fucking would do it too. I would do $100 and gladly wipe my ass with that $100. Like whatever. No, that's 10 grand, right? If I win,
1,000, 10 to 1 on your money, so $1,000.
Just 1,000. Okay, still not too shabby. BU roster is talented enough to win 4 games in a row. Yeah, I'm with you, Avi, and I just think they're going to do it now. But it's like they didn't win the Bean Pot, so they this is the lowest of low, and they lost to their arch rival BC. And this BC team isn't even that good. They didn't even start that good. And they're 4th in the Hockey East, BC. So it's not like they're great. We know Providence is the best team in that conference. We've been saying. I'm kind of surprised Merrimack are not as better. But BU's now in the middle of it. So,
But again, if BU is to win Hockey East, now the cutoff becomes 12 because now we're hitting an extra auto bid. And it just gets real messy. So I always tell people, you want to win as many games you can. You're
and win your tournament. You're in.
What? Yeah, leave no doubt. Yeah. Don't get judged by the committee.
Conference, you're in. If you win your conference, win your conference tournament, you're in. It doesn't matter what conference you're in.
Take care of business. It's going to be fun.
Okay, so Atlantic round 2 are Friday and Saturday, and let me find the schedule. I can tell you where those are going to be. Where you can watch those guys. So tomorrow's schedules, NCHC tournament, Miami at Denver. You can watch that on the NCHC live stream. Same with Colorado. These are that's 7:00 Mountain Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that would be 5 p.m. for me. Colorado College, Western Michigan. That is 7 Eastern. Also on the NCHC. St. Cloud State at Minnesota Duluth. That is also on the live stream and the radio, 6:10 a.m. All these have radios too. So you can listen to the games on the radios if you know the things. If you go to the College Hockey News, I'm going to shout out Mike McMahon's thing. It has the link to the streaming service. Most of these college ones are free because they're not for profit. And the radio station, you can listen to that area. So a lot of times you can just dial up one of those, your phone radio things, tune in radio, or whatever, put in the, KSNN 1450 AM in, Minnesota Duluth, and that you'll be able to hear it, the game, if you want to listen to it. So, okay. And Air Force at Robert Morris. And, that's not that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, it's all right. It's oh my God, I'm
is the Atlantic
here.
What?
Atlantic tournament started Tuesday. The NCHC, the ECAC, they start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hockey East and Big Ten, their final regular season weeks are this week because they're weird and have middle of the season bye weeks and like to confuse everybody and be different.
Yeah. Yeah, so the ECAC tournament, we got RPI at Clarkson, 7 Eastern. We got St. Lawrence at Harvard. CCHA tournament, dropping me. So as I get through all these tournaments, and then we'll move into the talking points here. CCHA tournament, Ferris State at Minnesota State, Bowling Green at Michigan Tech, Lake Superior at St. Thomas, and Bemidji at Augustana. Okay, Atlantic hockey tournament, you got RIT at Holy Cross, Air Force at Robert Morris, Niagara at Sacred Heart, and Mercyhurst at Bentley. Okay, those are all the tournaments. So the only one that's not having a tournament is a Big Ten. So they're just playing regular season ass games. We got Wisconsin at Penn State tomorrow, and they lost today. I think that's just a 2-game set, right? So there's no Saturday game in that series, correct?
I think. Which one?
Wisconsin at Penn State, because they played tonight.
Yeah, that's their final regular season game. That's just
okay. CCHA tournament, best of 2, 3 of the higher seeds. You want to talk? You said you have St. Thomas at plus 330 as your pick. Go ahead and do any of those matchups you want to talk about, or
I'm going to highlight St. Thomas, Augustana. Those, again, I said it earlier, those are my favorite ones. Minnesota State historically has been the best team in that conference. Michigan Tech recently has had a lot of success. Like there's a lot of, what's the word here? Like there's similarities, they're close. It's a steep competition. It just stinks that they're all fighting in between.
And St. Thomas are nipping at each other's heels. By the way, St. Thomas scored 119 goals on the year, far and away the most in the CCHA. But they have allowed 99, which is like middle of the pack.
I want to highlight them.
Minnesota State.
10 of those goals were to North Dakota.
I would say Minnesota State's only allowed 72 goals on the year. They've only scored 91, but they've only allowed 72. Second best in the conference, behind only Augustana, who's allowed 69. Augustana's allowed 69 and have scored 101. If that doesn't tell you that team could do some damage in the playoffs.
This is why I picked them.
Yeah,
I will say St. Thomas, 10 of those goals were to North Dakota week 1. All right, so we got to give them credit where credit is due. They decided to come out of the gate swinging. Let's go play.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've far and away scored the most goals. I mean, the second is Michigan Tech with 116. So they outscored that. And I don't know if they've played the same amount of games. Actually, St. Thomas has played one more game. So not a huge difference between those two teams offensively. No. And in fact, Michigan Tech plays. I'm sorry, I said Michigan Tech. It was Michigan Tech that scored 116, but Bowling Green has scored 102 and allowed 80. They might have the best goal differential in the conference. The worst has got to be Northern Michigan. They've allowed 132 goals. Not good, and they've only scored 56. They are a minus like 75 as a team.
Northern Michigan has both of their goalies have multiple 50-save games. So I will defend their goaltending. It is not their fault. They just get hung out to dry.
Well,
to the other 20 skaters. You don't score goals, and you can't leave your goalie out.
Okay. This conference, goals are being scored. Like Ferris State, who's in 8th ahead of Northern Michigan, Ferris State has scored 88 goals. They actually have more goals than Lake Superior, and they're not far behind Bemidji State and the number 1 team in the conference, Minnesota State. They don't score a lot of goals. They don't allow, they allow the least amount. They're like plus 19. They're not anyway, wild that they've scored 56. I feel bad for UAA, and I think they're better. I think they have a better goal score. They have to have more than 56. Yes, they've scored 88 goals. Oh, no, sorry, 54. My bad. We're even worse. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Last Cankers has only scored 54, and they've allowed 130. Oh, my God. I was going to say, I thought Ferris State was probably one of the worst teams, or Northern Michigan. They've allowed 132, but they've scored 2 more goals. Oh, my God. Okay. Moving on, to wrap up the CCHA, Mike likes Augustana and St. Thomas at plus 300 to win those tournaments. And anybody else you could see dark horse coming out of that conference?
No, I think this one's kind of top heavy. So like Minnesota State could steal it. And I think they're the number 1 seed. So it feels weird saying they could steal it. Michigan Tech and Bowling Green. Those would be the 5 schools I think really got a great shot. And there's 8 schools. So as I said, it's a very tight conference. I don't see the 3 dogs winning it. Sorry, I don't mean to bash them, but I just don't see it.
Like Augustana doesn't allow teams to score. Bowling Green doesn't allow teams to score. Minnesota State. So it looks like it's really good defensive hockey. But if I had to pick of those teams, Augustana and Bowling Green have really good. And Augustana is incredible. Like they're like a plus 31 goal differential. They've allowed the least amount. And I get why you have them on there, man. So that's it. That's just looking at not even getting into the numbers, guys. We don't have time to go through all that. You just listen to Mike and you ride with him, or you don't, or you fade him. How many units are you up this year, Mike? You can let him know.
We just took home 2 more tonight, so I think 17. We're back up to 17. We definitely had a rainfall weekend.
$100, you're up $1,700. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's pretty good, man. That's a nice little, it's a nice little bonus you give yourself when you watch sports and if you gamble on them. I personally don't, but it's because it's not legal here and it'd be a bit enormous pain in the ass for me anyway. So, and I have the attention span of a gnat. So, ECAC single elimination. You've got Quinnipiac. There's no odds listed because they're going to be the favorite. Any dark horses in the ECAC to win that?
I'm going to go with the big 3 in the ECAC. Quinnipiac's my favorite one. I actually took them February 12th at 25 to 1 to win the Natty. They're now up to 12 to 1, so I got a great price. But Cornell and Dartmouth, hard to ignore them. Cornell, reigning ECAC champion. Dartmouth has a habit of choking every year.
By the way,
those are the 3.
Speaking of Cornell, they're middle of the road in goal scoring, 97 goals for so far in 22 games played. Pretty good, actually. They've only allowed 56 goals, far and away the best. Like Cornell. Yeah. I mean, dude, the next closest team is Dartmouth, and they've allowed 67. They have 11. Now, Dartmouth scored 110, though, so they have really made up for it offensively. So they look. That's a team I expect to do some damage, man. We thought they could be in it last year, right? They were close.
Should have been in last year. They found a way to lose last year.
I picked them. I had them. That's why they lost. If I pick you in the tournament, totally going to lose. Okay. So we think Quinnipiac's going to win it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Cornell, Dartmouth. You like Harvard, Princeton, any of those other teams, maybe?
Princeton. No, I mean, I'll see Harvard this Friday. They should steamroll St. Thomas. That shouldn't even be close, but we'll see.
Are they playing St. Thomas or St. Lawrence?
St. Lawrence. I'm sorry. Thank you. Good catch. Should crush SLU.
Because I thought
shouldn't be close. Should not be a close game.
Okay. All right. Yep, St. Lawrence at Harvard. You will be there. That's awesome. I bet that's a cool crowd, man. NCHC tournament. Who do you got?
This is the one. If I had to pick a team, North Dakota, but I mean, this is such an open game. They're
the best team. They're the best team. They have scored the most goals in the conference, 131. They've allowed the second least most goals in 79. That's a 40 goal differential. And Denver is right behind them with 78 goals. They've allowed the least, and they've scored 122. So 2 teams we expect to be in the conference tournament because easily be frozen. I hope one of or both Denver or North Dakota is a Frozen 4 team.
Because they're the NCAA could send 5. I honestly think they send 5 this year.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to have North Dakota, Denver, Western Michigan, and Duluth. Those teams are all in the tournament. No question.
I think a team like St. Cloud or Miami could, like, if they make a big run, sneaks in.
Yeah, if they win their conference tournament. Yeah.
And then I'm like, this could be an all NCHC Frozen Four, which would be sick. It's been done twice. Hockey East has done it. ECA did it back-to-back Frozen Fours. So why not the NCHC do it?
That's crazy. I you know what? I could see it. I hope it isn't. I hope we have a hockey school, probably BU. I hope we have an NCHC school. I hope we have a Big Ten school. And I hope we have like a CCHA or a Atlantic school there.
I would love a CCHA getting in there just to sleep on everybody. I think it'd be great.
Hey, Thomas or Augustana? Augustana seems like a real good defensive team, man. That sounds like a team that could win a championship.
And they're close. Augustana's in South Dakota. South Dakota to Vegas.
Nice. They might win this. Yeah, Denver could win it too.
They're so good.
Denver.
I mean, they're so well coached.
They're right behind. They're right behind in stats. I mean, they are not far off. I mean, they have 15 wins. 5 regulation losses, 3 overtimes. They're 12-11-3 in Denver, and North Dakota's 25-8-1. So it's not a huge gap. And you could argue Denver's been better defensively. They've allowed less goal. So they haven't scored as much, but yeah. Anyway, so I agree with that. I wouldn't even pick any of these teams. The money's probably not worth it anyway. Okay, Big Ten final regular season. And any of these games you want to talk about?
Say Wisconsin scored a touchdown. Wisconsin scored a touchdown tonight, guys.
Yeah,
Penn State is 3-10
against if Wisconsin sweeps, they're going to move up, and Penn State's going to move down. That's happening.
So, I mean, Wisconsin was
win the Big Ten tournament too.
Yeah, Wisconsin was 16 prior to tonight's blowout. They're now 12. Penn State was 5. They fell to 8. If Wisconsin wins tomorrow, we could be looking at 9 and 10, and all of a sudden Penn State's going into the Big Ten tournament as a 4 seed.
Yeah.
Michigan and Michigan State will get the first round byes. And now Penn State would have to play Notre Dame, which, by the way, Notre Dame just took them to shootouts back-to-back games at Penn State.
Yep.
I mean,
I think Penn State's in trouble.
Penn State, you lose to Notre Dame and you're number 10, you might be out.
I think Penn State's in trouble, man. I do. I think they're in trouble. I think they cannot play defensive hockey. I mean, just if you look at the Big Ten, Penn State has allowed 102 goals. Not the worst. I mean, Notre Dame's allowed 142. Minnesota's allowed 116, very un-Minnesota. And Ohio State's allowed 120. The difference is all those 3 are the bottom half of that conference. And you're telling me Penn State's the 3rd best in the Big Ten? Okay, but I don't think they're that much better. Wisconsin scored 124 goals and has allowed 99. They have a better goal differential, and they dolly-whopped Penn State tonight. They can't play two-way hockey. That's my problem with Penn State. And I just see if you play good defensive hockey throughout the year, it usually translates into the playoffs. And I'm telling you, like, the team, Penn State's not a good defensive team. They're gonna lose to a good defensive team like a Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac's gonna outwork your ass. What's the other one we were just Augustana? They don't give up goals, son. They'll win a 1-0 game. They're comfortable in it. Oh, you got to beat teams 10-7? That's not good. That's not good. That's Edmonton Oilers. That's Edmonton Oilers. They had to go get a bunch of defensive guys. We'll see how they do. I still think they're like the 5th best team in the West right now. So
I will say this. Can we pull up the NPIs real quick one more time? Just because I'm curious now.
I got it right here.
Great.
You want to see it on the screen?
Put it on the screen for a sec, just so I'll show everyone what we're talking about. Because right now they just played themselves out into the worst 2 seed, and they'll play the best 3 seed available. If it was to end today, who's at number 9?
Number 9 is right now Cornell. I got it on the screen here.
Cornell, the number 1 defensive team in the country. That's a first round matchup right now. Is Penn State Cornell? Who's winning that game at a neutral site?
I would take Cornell big time, and I bet Penn State would be a huge favorite. I would totally take Cornell. Yeah. Telling you, they're older. They don't. I just don't trust Penn State. I do think McKenna will be the number 1 overall pick, and this will be his last year. I mean, to me, I'd like to see him play another year at college because I think he makes decent money. You get to hang with the boys. He's going to grow a little bit more. I don't think he needs to. I think there's too much pressure on these number 1 overall picks to play right away, and they don't need to. Like Lafreniere should not have played right away. He should have went back to the QMJL, and then he should have went to the A. And I think it would have helped his game because I think he got paid. He's number 1 pick. We got to pay him. Well, no, you don't.
No, like that. But this is what I mean with Penn State. Like you and I agree they beat Cornell, but I'll ask the viewers, like, just think to yourselves, number 1 defensive team against a top 15 offensive team, but a team that gives up a lot of goals. Like Cornell, I think, wins that game 2-1, and they're going to be very comfortable playing that game 2-1. Avi said Dartmouth could be a chance, and he's right. Like, I think if Penn State loses tomorrow to Wisconsin wins, I would put Penn State at number 10, and they would play number 7, which is Denver. Who wins that game? Penn State, Denver. Like, give me Denver.
Oh.
And,
it's like Buffalo just made a trade, if you want to hear about it. Since we're live. Looks like the deal needs confirming, but the Winnipeg Jets, are sending both left defenseman Logan Stanley and right defenseman Luke Shin to the Saberhood in one package deal. That's probably what they need. They didn't need Parenko. That's probably nice. They probably ain't giving shit up for this, like a second-round pick or something. I'm telling you, I said this trade deadline was going to be a bust. There hasn't been a big trade. It was like Uyghur. I go, Uyghur's fucking terrible. He's like minus 45. Convince me he's a good defensive player on a team that's actually good defensively. He's not good. I don't think he's going to help whoever got him at all. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I am not a fan. So, and then, I didn't think Parenko was a liability in the Olympics, but he was not noticeable.
I didn't know he was in the Olympics. I'll say it.
Yeah, he was on Team Canada. And look, he went to University of Alaska Fairbanks. I like the guy. I don't know if I would have given up what Buffalo was, a second and first, and redeemed Murata for him, a 32, almost 33-year-old defenseman who doesn't necessarily want to play with you. I think that's going to benefit them. They're going to actually look back and go, yeah, thank God that trade didn't work itself out. Did you want to talk about the NPI anymore, or?
No, I wanted to highlight because I know a lot of people are going to look back and see the Penn State thing. Like right now, you're playing Cornell. I think if Penn State loses again, you're looking at a team like Denver, and I'm going, there's no way. So I'm looking Penn State. All right, you have to win. You're going to jump up, and then Avi's right. It could be Penn State, Dartmouth, and Dartmouth. I actually think Penn State can beat, but I don't think Cornell or Denver, Penn State could beat. And so for the Lions fans out there,
Cornell and Dartmouth, if they keep where they're at, they're in anyway.
Right.
So
I'm just thinking potential first round matchups in that tournament. And I don't it's going to be a neutral site game. It's not going to be in Allentown, PA. Maybe it's in Albany, New York.
That's another thing they need to fix. This first round should be home ice. Give those teams the higher seeds the advantage. Let them get one more gate. This is why if we did a 32, it's like an additional game. Big deal. Anyway, it would be so easy.
It would work.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take away from the season. You just have less auto bids. There's ways to get in. Win your conference tournament. And then we have an at-large of, because the independents deserve a shot to get in too, I think.
It's hard for an independent to get in.
Yeah, they should get an auto bid. So what's up, Josh? How you doing? Okay.
That's so we'll say that they started the what they call it, the Freedom Tournament or whatever this year. It's the 5 independent schools, And as they're hoping to make it 7 or 8 independent schools, and that'll be like the makeshift conference, and that'll get them an auto bid.
And they'll get an auto bid, which will expand the tournament because people will be like, no way.
They're experimenting. They're finding a way to.
That's good. I want them to expand the tournament. Expand the fucking tournament. Give the independents an auto bid. Let's get 7 independents, and yes, let's have an auto bid for the independents. I agree. It should happen. We need it. It will help promote the health of the game. What are we fucking doing? This is not hard. Like, these people that run shit can't do anything right. It's like, come on, I'm trying to grow the fucking game. Okay? Like, expand the goddamn tournament and give more auto bids. Like, there you go. Okay. What was I looking at? Sorry, I got to get your notes back up.
That was the end of it. Like, I had one bet tonight, guys.
Oh, yeah. You bet said UConn against UNH. You lost.
That was UConn won 4-1, so we're good.
Oh, no, you won that bet. There you go. Oh, you had 1.5. Yeah, you won that bet. Nice. Yeah, because
we won that one. We finally got to get the monkey off our back. I'm going to stop betting against the worst team in the country because apparently that's a bad strategy. Did you know I thank you, Frisbee Brian. You guys, if you follow his Frisbee picks, he's been doing quite well this year. But just for fun, that loser put $1 against Penn State last week and walked away with $2,000.
Tonight?
Last week when Penn State decided to choke it away to Notre Dame. $1 got you.
Are they in the top 13, man? Whatever. Okay. I'm going to just read back your tournament winners. For the Atlantic, you have Bentley. You're not betting that, though, just as a reminder to all the fans. CCHA, St. Thomas, and Augustana, you bet both teams. You get plus 300 on St. Thomas and plus 350 on Augustana. I like both those picks. ECAC, Quinnipiac, can't find a line. Wouldn't bet that one anyway. Hockey East, UConn, also not betting. I like the UConn pick, though. I'm saying it's BU plus 1,000. Like, I'm riding with
Savage.
Savage.
I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, I would bet it. NCH, if you put a bill down for me, I'll pay you for it. NCHC, this is all hypothetical and not real. We're not talking about gambling. NCHC, North Dakota, not betting. Don't blame you. I like North Dakota there too, but we talked about 3 or 4 teams could win that. The Big Ten, you like Michigan State, also not betting. I think there's 4 teams that could win that. I not doubting Penn State's ability to win that tournament, but I am doubting their ability to go far in the tournament because of their inability to play defense. So, but we'll see, man. They're deep. That's what I noticed when I saw them. And if they're as healthy as they were at the beginning of the season, then yeah, Avi, it's great. This is the most like, we got, the Ryan Leonard BC team with Will Smith, all these guys. That was there's no way they can't lose. They got the goalie, they got everything. We thought that Minnesota team with Brock Faber and Matthew Nyes, and they're so big and they're strong and they can move the puck. And they got kind of lucky against BU, I thought, in that Frozen 4 game in Tampa. I was there. I told the coach to his face. I know I say this almost every show, but yeah, I can't think of a team this year that I've been like, wow, they look amazing. We thought Michigan, then we thought Michigan State. Those teams have kind of come back to earth. North Dakota is there. I mean, it's wild. Yeah. Anyway, I love having everybody in the chat. Mike, any closing thoughts for the night? We've been live for about an hour, actually, very long for us. But we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, no, it's the time of year. Guys, the show's gonna get a little longer with tournaments and all that going on. But Unleashed, Roni, Lakers, T-Deebs, appreciate you guys jumping in on all the comments there. I'm trying to get back to you as best I can. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those that are here on the East Coast, New England area, if you feel like going to Encore, wave hi to the guy in the Visine yellow, because that's going to be me this evening. But I appreciate you guys all tuning in. It's been
cool.
It's been
I'm
fun.
going to do nothing. Oh, I'm going to ride my new fat tire bike. You want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm going to go. Then think of me when I'm freezing.
coming into camera here. You got it?
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm going to go ride. I got a little pull behind. Oh, ESPN Plus already has the NCHC. Yeah. Yeah, I love the ESPN Plus. I'm going to call it a night. We had a lot of people in here tonight. Avi, I really appreciate you, Mon. Josh, really good to see you. Darkness popped in. I know Darkness, you from Calgary, could give two shits about college hockey, but you still support me. Appreciate that. We saw Ken Dog Sports, Jimmy the Beard, Anaheim Ducks cards, Jay Step, D Tannehill. Mike already shouted out all the people from TikTok, which we're still going to be live on. I appreciate you all. We'll see you next Thursday. We're getting closer, man, to being in Vegas, baby. We're almost what? We're
33 days.
Yeah, just a little bit over a month, and we're there. Yeah, it's already the 6th
looking forward to chilling with you.
All right, brothers. See you. Peace out, everybody. We appreciate you. Take it easy.